No, I'm not going to read this. Hey, everybody. This is the hottest commodity in pro wrestling, the manager's manager, the maker of mayhem, the bringer of boom, the wager of war, the instigator of illuminating truth, and as of recently, the collector of champions. And you're watching the Hashtag Truth with Scott Larson. Now, get out of here.
Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
You know, recently, it just seems like everybody wants a piece of Luke Fury. And it seems like I'm just in high demand. And it's usually because people want their rematch with me. Or they just want a match in general with me. Why? Because they want to get put on the map by Luke Fury. And I understand that. I totally understand that. But what pisses me off is that when I've already beat someone and I have to face them again, that means 2 times I have to embarrass you in front of your family, your friends, and anyone who else is there. It looks like I'm in that predicament right now. Morgan Dash. The last fair show we went to, I absolutely destroyed you, and there's no doubt about that. And September 3rd, it looks like I'm going to have to, replay that for you yet again and show everybody else why I'm the best. So, Morgan, there's no doubt that you're a good kid. You're a good wrestler in general. You can do all the flippy stuff. I can do the flippy stuff. We can go technical, ground and pound, whatever you want to do, buddy. But listen, just so you know, this one isn't about just going in there and wrestling you. This time, I want you to actually bring a fight. Because last time, you didn't do anything. I pinned you in under 7 minutes. And that's saying something because you are one of the biggest stars that Firestar has, and you're one of the best. And I'm not doubting you on that. I'm not putting you down. But Morgan, please, 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 this time, bring your A game, because you sure as hell didn't bring it last time, and you see where that got you. So looks like I'm gonna have to make you famous yet again. Don't got a problem with it. But I'll see you September 3rd at the Boone County Fairgrounds.
And there you have it. My goodness. He meant business. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth. Tonight we have the one, the only, the producer of Hashtag Truth, among many other talents that we're going to get to tonight, Mr. Chuck Winchester. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I am still mesmerized by the shirt the kid had on. And Luke Fury, let me say something to you, sir. You calling somebody a kid, well, I guess it takes one to know one.
Frank Roof said, Scott Larson, what's up? What's up, Frank?
What's going on,
Luke
Frank?
Fury, Luke Fury said, I'm the hottest thing out there.
Your T-shirt's hot.
Frank Roof said, please, as it was going on. And Michael King said, stepping away from the film festival for a minute to say hello to Scott and Chuck. Thanks for everything, fellas, as that guy runs King Enterprises, which is one of my sponsors. Go to kingenterprises.store. We will have the commercial very soon for you. It's still being worked on. It will be coming shortly.
And I am working on that, but there's been a lot happening here lately. I mean, and for that, I want to apologize. I'm not going to get into any details. I just want to say, please pray for the family as we are dealing with some stuff.
There you go. There you go.
Why will my beard not go straight?
Now, the reason I have you on here, and people are probably wondering why I'm not having you on here as I am righteous or
the hottest commodity in pro wrestling, manager's manager, and maker.
I'm having you on here as Chuck Winchester because we're going to talk about your many talents, sir. We're not only going to talk about your managing skills, but we're going to talk about your ring announcing skills. We're going to talk about your videography skills. I mean, there's so many things that you do for wrestling, and we're going to talk about every one of them. And of course, you are the producer, and you help me out a lot on #Truth. And we also, you can show the shirt now for publicity. You're also one half of the greatest. There it is right there. One half of the greatest podcast known to man, the Slapdown Digicast. So
I got to do that 3 times, Scott, because when you are sending out a message to somebody and you are advertising and that sort of thing, 3 times. 3 times. 3 times makes a memory. So you have summoned me here. I am here, and I am saying to you before you went live, you said, "Now, do you know how to do this?" Well, I know behind the scenes, but the magic you do in front of the camera, sir, no. And I don't want to know. You just need to explain it to me about all the pretty colors and all the magic and all that. Don't give me. We know what the reality is. Why you want to mess with the fantasy?
I have to ask everybody, I always explain to everybody, if you've ever been on #Truth, I explain how the intro goes and what you got to wait on. And when you hear me say, welcome to #Truth, we're live, the whole 9 yards, everybody out there knows. But, you being the producer and all, I thought it was a joke and I said it anyway. And here we are.
Okay. So now before you get into the questions, the hard-nosed questions over here above, between Cole Maccabee and Big Country, it's the 5-time club. What is that?
The 5-time club is if you've been on #Truth 5 times or more, you belong to the 5 times club. And I'm gonna have to look you up to see how many times you've been on #. This might be your 5th. It might be. I'll have to look it up. We'll see.
Oh, I'm gonna have to be on here more than that from now on.
Right. Well, now we're talking about, being the main cat, not somebody who just jumps on the show or anything else. You have to be the person who's advertised as being on the show 5 times. So that might knock you down a few pegs right there, but I don't think so. You might still have 5. But let's see what Jersey Red said. Hey, Jersey's watching.
Oh, hey, Jersey Red.
Luke Fury, yo again.
Good shirt.
Joey Nugg says, you're the second best wrestling manager. We'll get into that in a minute.
But I'm the hottest commodity, Joey. I'm the hottest commodity.
Michael King said, Chuck, my creative team is still working on your product. It's not forgotten.
Thank you, sir.
And Jack Dillon said, hello, guys. What's going on, Mr. Jack? Welcome to #Truth. Okay, now, like I said, I brought you on here to talk shop, basically. It's a wrestling podcast, and you've been around wrestling. Tell everybody how long, if you're watching and you've never seen Chuck Winchester before, tell the people out there how long you've been around the wrestling business.
Scott, I came in the wrestling business in 2008.
2008. Now, when you came in,
wait, hold on a second. No, I'm sorry. Gavin was a year old when I came in, so he is now 16. I've been here 15 years.
15 years. Okay, now I have to ask a question that I've probably asked you off camera and I probably forgot your answer, but you've been a manager, you're a ring announcer. Have you ever seriously given any thought to getting in the ring and actually wrestling?
I did, and it was a logical choice by me because I'm 53 years old. So if you subtract 15 from 53, that will let you know just how old I was when I came in, and I knew that without a doubt my body couldn't take the punishment that those guys take.
Right.
And so I just decided, you know what, you're really, really good at running your mouth, so you can snuff your hopes and dreams of wrestling, and you can just manage and make people hate you that way. Right. And I have found out, yes, they hate me because of that.
Yes. Now I gotta, okay, we're talking about your managing. Now explain to the people out there without, breaking down the 12th wall, the 13th wall, the 14th wall. You take managing very seriously. I've talked to many managers in the business, and I know I talk to you every day, but you go above and beyond what normal managers would do in this business. Explain to some of the people out there what you do and what you have done. If you want to name names, that's up to you, but explain to them what you do as a manager.
Well, as a manager, it is my job first and foremost to get the word out about the people that I am managing, my clientele. Then the other thing that I do is, like, if the guys need water, I'll get them water. If, they forgot something in the vehicle, I'll run and get it. And it's just because, what I do is secondary. I'm not saying that it is less important than what goes on inside the ring. And so I have the natural ability to run my mouth. And so, normally a lot of times when you see me do a promo or something like that, it's on the fly. And that's where the best promo comes in at, because if you rehearse your promo 15 million times and you have it scripted in your mind, then it comes across as mechanical and cold. And the whole point of the promo is the emotion of it. It's if you're angry, be angry. If you're happy because your guys have won, then be happy because your guys have won. Any emotion that you can evoke from people, that is the benefit. Now, and as far as when I'm out there in front of the crowd, I think that I've told you this off air. If you have 3 sides of a ring that is covered by an audience, it's my job to see my way around to get in front of each and every side there that has a crowd. Because if you were spending a whole lot of time on the left side of the ring, then those people in the middle section and on the right, they get jealous, and they not really jealous, but I feel that due to me having to go out there and antagonize people, then it is, if I stay with one side, then people didn't get their money on my end. So yeah, it's all about in front of the crowd. It's all about, for me, it's like seek and destroy, because if I go to you and I direct something at you and you respond, well, I've got you in my sights. Then I know that I'm under your skin, and I know that if you hate me, then you're going to hate those guys in the ring.
Right. But I've also heard you tell me when we were talking again, behind the scenes, that it's not about you. You want to put the attention to them in the ring that you're managing, no matter who it is. You want, to get them to see you, but you're talking about them, and they're supposed to look through you to them up there.
Yes, it is the main point of being there is for me to get my guys over the best of my ability. Am I saying that I'm the best at it? No, I just know that I get a response. Right. And I can safely say that. And also I've been to shows where I see guys coming out and they are ringside, and they just stand there and they're waiting for their spot. And to me, if you are not doing something, if you're not selling with your face, selling with your body, or being vocal about it, then you're just a spectator, and you need to buy a ticket and you need to sit down.
Right.
But there's a fine balance there too, Scott, because again, I've also seen managers that take it another level, and that's when it becomes about them. Anytime that I point out something great that my guys have done, or something that is not good for my guys, like if one of my guys punches somebody, the go-to that I have is to go to some part where there is a crowd, and I will yell out, "Oh!" as loud as I can. and then I'll point to the ring and I'll say, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" And then when my guys are on the offense, or when they're on the defense, then it's my job to sell that I'm concerned. It's my job to tell the story that I'm concerned for my guys in the ring. And in a lot of matches today, there is no selling going on. It's just
there's also an art to interfering as a manager, not getting caught. There is an art to that.
Yes,
I discovered that the hard way, because I tried it and I failed the first 2 times, and then the third time it finally sunk in that you better get it going on with the referee there, or else if you don't tell the referee what's going on, you're liable to get caught.
Right. And when you do that, if the ref is legit and they take their job serious, they will be on you in a heartbeat.
Yes, we've got a lot of people talking tonight, man. Billy Jones says the manager that's better than the mouth of the South.
Oh, thank you.
Missy has a question. She said, "Who was the first person you ever managed?"
First person that I ever managed was a tag team in SWA. It consisted of Marshall Simmons and JD Drake, and we were called the Mayhem Mafia. They were actually the black hand of the Mayhem Mafia.
There you go. Urban Legend. Yes.
What up, Urban?
Mark. Oh, there we go. Sweet Dream says he needs water since you want to go collect water.
Here, you find time to say that.
Urban Legend says you need to be part of his crew. Alan Odell said the Sandman will. Tarzan's War says he's here. What's up, Tarzan's? Long time no see. Urban Legend says I fuck with this guy. # respect.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of managers, Father Darkness says, "What's
There
up,
he
guys?"
is. There he is. Good guy.
Jersey Red said, Luke Fury Law, then you have never met Little City. Okay, I got you. And, of course, your number one fan says, when the ring announcer brings in a shovel, you know there's a manager around.
Wow. All right, Marvin.
You guys need to be in our living room when Chuck and my dad talk about wrestling managers. That is the most humorous thing you will ever hear in your life, because my dad can't stand managers, and Chuck tries to explain what a manager does, and my dad just don't want to.
He's not having none of it. He is not having none of it.
It's great. It is so much fun. But all right, so you've been managing now. When along the way did you decide to, or maybe you've been doing it throughout your managing career? I see a lot of times that if you can't get in as a manager, they'll call you in as a ring announcer. Explain your first ring announcing gig and how that came along.
First ring announcer gig came at the hands of Gary Benfield in Hendersonville, North Carolina. Apparently his ring announcer had said that he couldn't do it anymore. I know that he had Jeff, and Jeff passed away, and then he had people filling in the spots, and so the person couldn't do it anymore. So I competed with what I feel to be one of the greatest ring announcers that there is out there today, and that is Corky Franks.
Okay.
And I'm sorry if I got the last name wrong. It's either Corky Frank or Corky Franks. Corky went on to be announcing for PWX. He has also announced some monster truck rallies. He works for the truck jams, the whatever. And I'm not familiar. Please, Alexander,
trucks.
I am not familiar with the monster trucks outside of they're big and they're bouncy and stuff like that. So Monster Jam, is that the name of it?
I think so.
I think
Monster Jam is like their Super Bowl.
Right. Well, however it works. Anyway, so I went there and I was nervous that night, to tell you the truth, because I wasn't really nervous going into it. But then when I heard Corky doing his thing, thank you, Joey. When I heard Frankie do his gimmick, it was spot on, and it was by the grace of the good Lord above, because again, we were competing.
Monster Jam is the brand, Joey said. So.
Okay. So going into this, it was like I had to compete with him. I had never heard him, but I was nervous. But then when he opened his mouth and it was like an angelic choir singing.
Right.
It was that good. And so the HVW people there voted me in as the ring announcer, and that's where it started. And it's one of those things to where I want to address this to guys who want to wrestle, but they don't always have means to doing things. Find other things to do so you can get your person out there, your brand. I mean, you know, you might end up announcing one night, reffing another night, announcing another night. Heck, if the promoters trust you, he'll put you at the door taking up money.
Right.
But you have to make yourself accessible to play in the world of professional wrestling. And when I say play, I'm not trivializing it. It's just to be a part of it, because
let me tell you something. As a podcaster for hashtag truth, and there are people on here that will tell you that I do this. I go to shows, even though, you know, they tell me, hey, Scott, come, hashtag truth, you get in for free. Just, you know, interview my guys, put my show out there, you know, just put all eyes on my show. And I do that, but I do the same thing. I go, and the first thing I'll ask that promoter is, do you have somebody doing the door? Why? I want to do the door. Why do you want to do that? Because that's where the fans come in. That's where you find out what the fans are coming here for, who they're coming here for, what are they coming to this show for, and that's where you get all the answers.
Right.
And people have a hard time thinking about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you talk to everybody coming through the door, you know, you already know who everybody's cheering for. You already know who the biggest group, you know, is coming through. You can see all the T-shirts that are coming in, and who's the most popular, and who deserves to be the champ, who deserves to be on the posters. You don't even have to ask the questions. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, again, I mean, I understand that you have your heart set on wrestling, going back to the wrestlers who.
There you go. Jason said he started as security.
Who want to wrestle, but yet the card is full. And if you go and you show dedication to these promoters, and you show that you're willing to get in there and help set up the ring, and then when it's time to start the show, that you have the ability to referee, or you have the ability to ring announce. Heck, if somebody needs a manager, you can do that. But it is just, I think for business reasons, it is selfish for one to sit there and say, well, I just want to wrestle. Well, then, okay.
Sweet Dream says, he's telling the truth. I put up rings, and now I have my first match next week. Now, you know, that's a joke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Gosh.
So look, it is the accessibility that you give somebody as to what you can get out of this.
Right.
So,
without a doubt,
I have no problem filling in shoes outside of wrestling. Now, when somebody says to me, "Look, we need you to wrestle," well, I can't. What do you mean that you can't? Well, I know how to fall.
Oh gosh, and that's what I tell people when I go in there and I manage. Can you take a bump? No, I know how to fall. If you hit me, I'll fall down. I'll go boom.
Yeah. And it really, but by design, Scott, it was the design of Wicked, David Reimer, where he was the guy who I went to learn the skill from, and he said, you know what? I don't want you to know how to fall pretty. I don't want you to know how to bump pretty. I want you to be able to look like you were ejected by a car because you're a manager. Right. You're a manager. There is no pretense of me being a wrestler before I was a manager. I came in and I learned the basics to protect myself in a bump, but outside of that, it was well, no, we don't want you to know how to do that because we want you on the outside of the ring. And
you're a huge, and all managers are a huge factor when it comes to storylines. I mean, how many times has there been a wrestling match and there's a manager out there, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden a microphone appears, and the promoter didn't have anything to do with this, but, you know, a microphone gets in the manager's hand, and the next thing you know, a storyline pops up because the manager says something, and then, oh, wait a minute, somebody from the back has got to come out with a microphone, and then voila, you've got a story, and, you know,
yes,
just like that. So, and how many wrestlers do we know? And I know a lot of them, and I'm not downing anybody, but how many wrestlers do we know out there couldn't do a promo if you gave them the instructions and they were reading just like this? I mean, a lot of them, especially the newer kids, need managers, but the managers don't get a lot of credit, and that's where I'm leading into with this. The managers today don't get a lot of credit like they did back in the olden days. The Jimmy Crockett's, Jim Cornette's, all the managers, they were put on posters. They were put up front. They weren't they weren't the tag teams, or they weren't the Mouth of the South wasn't Andre the Giant, or Bobby the Brain Heenan wasn't Andre the Giant, but he was put on the posters with them.
He was a factor, yeah.
He was a factor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nowadays, it's hard pressed to get any promotion to put a manager on a wrestling poster, and it frustrates me. I know it frustrates you, and I want to hear you give your end of all this.
Well, I think if you're a promoter and you don't want a manager, that is your choice. But you have people out there, like Scott said, who they couldn't do a promo because, well, it's one of those things to where all I want to do is wrestle. That's all I want to do. And when I talk to Jake Jacobs about going to Tom Pritchard's school, and I'm normally I'm not one to drop names like this, but for what he told me, it was brilliant. And I asked him, I said, what is the biggest lesson that you learned while you were spending time with Tom Pritchard? And he said that your actions inside of the ring is probably 15%, 10 or 15% of what you do. And with that, I understand it's all in today's times. We have social media that gets your name out there. You can have you can be struggling and do that one promo that gets these promoters to see you, and then it is okay. All right, yeah, let's bring this guy in. And it might come from the time in the match. Case in point, I received a YouTube video where a Michael Jackson impersonator was moonwalking before he did the drop on the guy. And I think to myself, how many people got in touch with him because of that one move? But now, as far as the manager goes, I think that absolutely the manager has his place in pro wrestling. Right. And it just seems that more promoters are getting away from that. And it's because they see that as an unnecessary expense. Like, we can have anybody to come in here and escort you out there, and we'll just pay them $5-10. And I'm not saying that, I know as long as I've been in the business, I'm not at this level. I will not die a rich man, or I won't even die comfortable at this level. Right. And it's just it befuzzles me how promoters can say, well, I'm part of pro wrestling, but I hate managers, or we don't need a manager. Why?
Right. Luke Fury said, speaking of managers, I can do that. I've seen Luke Fury manage. He managed against me.
and there you go. It's one of those things to where if you want to be a student of the game, you have to know every aspect of the game. And I tell these people who I know are working with trainees, and they have their schools and that sort of thing. Well, have you showed them about the inner workings, being in music, being in the audio department, being in the guy that's back there in Gorilla telling people when they're going out? Have you showed them that? Well, no. All they want to do is wrestle. Well, then they're not a very good student of the game, because they don't want to waste their time with that. That's beneath them. Right.
I mean, that's and to me, it's kind of crazy, because a manager can do so many things. A manager can be the eyes when you're not. A manager can go out and tell what area of the crowd is rooting for you, what area of the crowd is booing you. And and like you said at the beginning, you could feed one and make the other mad.
Oh, yes.
And-
Look, the thing about that is, if I can get somebody on the front row to stand up and argue with me, just argue, not getting physical about it, just there where I'm in their face and they're in my face, and it's like nose to nose. Brother man, I will tell you this. If you are an upcoming aspiring manager and you find that one person is gold. And I'll tell you why. It's because it feeds. It's like a frenzy. Once that energy is sent out, then the crowd gets behind that and they start rooting for that person.
It's sort of like if somebody's teaching you to be a heel, and one of the first things that any teacher who's teaching you to be a heel, one of the first things they will teach you is when you come through the curtain, find a kid. Find a kid and go up to that kid and make that kid cry. Do whatever. Don't physically touch him, but do something, make a face, say something mean to him, whatever. Make that kid cry, because the first thing that's going to do is cause a reaction from the crowd, and the whole crowd will hate you.
Look, I'm going to give you the secret to making a kid cry.
Uh-oh.
Right here. Okay, so imagine you have this guy coming out. He's got a helium balloon, and he is carrying like 2 or 3 of them.
Right.
And he goes and he gives one to this kid, and then he gives one to that kid. When he's leaving that second kid, have a pen ready and pop that balloon. Pop that balloon.
Right?
It builds character. It's like giving a kid an ice cream cone and knocking the first 2 layers of ice cream off there if they've got a triple dip.
Without a doubt. Jason Becker said, "Thank you, Chuck, for showing me the ropes of managing."
Oh, you're welcome, sir.
Jack Dillon said, "We, the managers of wrestling business, love to be a part of the show also." Well, yep. I mean, absolutely.
If I didn't want to be a part of the show, I wouldn't be there.
Smoke is in the house.
Smoke, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so all right, so you're a manager, you've been a ring announcer. Now you just got through saying at the beginning, if you could find other ways to get in to this wrestling business, you can make money because you're a jack of all trades. So another thing that I know that you do is you do videography, and that's not an easy word to say. Say that 5 times fast. Videography. People, if they need an entrance video, you can do an entrance video for them.
Yes.
If you need to spice up their promo, they'll send you their promo. You'll spice it up for them. I mean, There's lots of things you can do with video, and you know how to do it. As a matter of fact, you taught me a lot. So, but that's another way. Explain to us how you got into that.
Oh, well, it was one of those things to where Tim Dixon, the guy that I did Ninja Troll with, he was also the creator of Carolina Independent Wrestling back in the day. I'd watched his work, and I thought, well, is there a way that I could do this? Plus, I went to broadcasting school to learn a trade, and video was one of those. And so I just found the program that I got along with. It was like a click automatically. And it's the one that I showed you. I'm not going to give any secrets. I'm not giving out Mama's secret recipe right here. I'm just saying that I have found a very good program that I can work with. It's easy for me to read. And I wanted to be like one of those guys who could do like 3D and stuff like that, just make it stand out. But unfortunately, I can't work with Adobe. I don't understand layers. I don't. It is the hardest thing for me to understand. But luckily, I found the program that I'm going with, and it works fine. Now, to that, let me explain something to anybody who is needing video work done. Guys, you need to compensate these people for their time. I understand. And this is going out from promoters to managers to guys working in the ring. When you ask somebody to do something like that for you, and you want it done, please don't think that just because you're a name and you're well on your way that you don't have to do that. I'm saying to you, these people are spending more time doing your videos than you spend in the ring.
Right, right.
And so I really, really believe that the thing.
And I believe it goes to all aspects. It goes to poster making.
Yes.
It goes to, everything that will promote a show, period.
Yes.
And, it comes down to, it takes money to make money.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, that's exactly the point we're trying to make.
Look, the thing that I admire about you is the hashtag truth has been going for as long as it has been going. And you are now finding people who will give you sponsorship money. Right. When I was doing the Carolina Independent Wrestling Report, I was told by one promoter, "Hey, boss, you do a wrestling show, do some interviews, and I'll take care of you." Well, then when I sent out the call to get in some commercials, Brian Kanabrowski, he answered the call.
Right.
And again, I will thank him because at the time he respected what I did. I think that I had a very good journalistic mind for doing questions and stuff like that. But it was like I would call up people and I would say, "Look, I've got the CIW report. What's that?" Right. Okay, right. So you don't know what wrestling podcasts are out there, and they treat this. It's like the mentality of a lot of not a lot, but some of these old school workers who look at their time in the ring as just a hobby. If you look at it as just a hobby, what the hell are you doing? There's a model plane kit that I'm sure that you can get, you spend a very low amount of money and you can buy an airplane and go and fly that. That's your hobby. But when you put your bodies on the line and when you put your health on the line and you make this your lifestyle, then it's no longer a hobby. It's guys that are seeking to make it from one point to another and advance in their livelihood.
Right.
But yeah, I would call up all kinds of people and I would show them, hey, I've got this show and I'm interviewing guys from all over the Carolinas and some people from outside of Carolinas because they're wrestling in the Carolinas. And it was like, well, yeah, okay. And the money, I wasn't asking for anything outrageous. No.
Right.
I mean,
just to be compensated. Just to be compensated. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't start even thinking about sponsors on my show till about a year or so ago. And it was a couple of people that got a hold of me that really, you talked to me a few times about it. I'm not going to lie, as my producer. Yeah. If you guys don't know that, Chuck has always been the producer of Hashtag Truth ever since I came on this StreamYard. He helps me with my backgrounds. He helps me, with all my stuff. And if I have a video question, I come to him and he helps me. So, he's always been a part of this show.
Right.
But I also had Brian Kanabrowski call me one day out of the blue, called me on the phone. Now, I didn't know I had that much pull in podcasting that one of the major players in the game had my direct phone number.
Right.
So he calls me and he's like, "Scott, what are you doing?" He goes, "You're playing all these things for people. You're playing all these promos. You're playing what are you making out of this?" I like nothing. I love putting them out there. But bro, how much work do you put in putting all this together? And I had to sit down and think about that, dude. It's not just, plug and play all this stuff. I take videos. Sometimes guys will send me videos and if you send it to me on a phone, it's this skinny on the screen. Now you're looking at this whole big old box that I'm in right here, but the video only covers this much of the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to cover the rest of it with something or it looks really retarded. And I'll give you an example. Let me put up a video real quick of the opening video, the opening promo. And I'm not saying he did it wrong. I'm just saying I like filling up the whole thing, the opening promo. Let me play a few seconds of it.
Recently it just seems like
now Luke Fury and Excalibur Championship Wrestling wasn't on that video when he sent it to me. I added those.
Right.
to make their, so that way you knew as soon as Luke started talking, he was talking about Excalibur Championship Wrestling. And before he even opened his mouth, you knew who he was because his name was up there.
Right.
It makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I had to put that in another video program, put it all in there, and render it before I put it into, and of course I had to put it into StreamYard here. And that whole thing right there took a half an hour. So if I do that, and I'm looking over here at the side of my screen, and I'm looking at probably 40 videos that are rendered into my program, 40 times 30, that's a lot of time.
Yes.
That's a lot of time. So it hit me when he said that, and anybody out there, if you're a wrestler and you're putting in the time at the gym, you're putting in the time to go and study under somebody and putting the time in the ring, get paid. Don't go and do it for free. Once you start wrestling and people start noticing you, and one big key is if you start selling merch, if people start buying your t-shirts, that's a key right there that you should never work for free again.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Well, you have to look at it like this. In the world of professional wrestling, when you say to somebody, you are in the business, there's certain qualifications that need to happen there before you can say you conduct business. And that is the exchange of money going from one hand to the other.
Right.
Now, please understand, when you're first coming into the business and your school is having a show and they want you to perform in front of that audience, they will ask you to do it for free. But that is because you are getting your name out there. They are making sure that you are getting your name out there. They're getting you the exposure and all that. I get that. But when you have guys spending 15 years working for the same promoter that's not your home fed, and you're not being paid for that, well, then you need to start restating the word business, because at that point, if you're spending money out of your pocket to get you there just to go to a show and be told, well, Bubba, thank you for coming out, and we really appreciate it, and we'll be in touch with you soon. Of course they're going to be in touch with you soon. You're working for free. And if you go in that ring and you get hurt and you are not making money for your time, then you've got hurt for nothing.
Yeah. And you're paying out for hospital bills and everything else.
Exactly.
Zach said, hey, Scott, how you doing, Zach?
I see how it is, Zach. Okay.
Tyson says, yo.
Oh, Tyson. I love Tyson.
And Art Long wrote a book. Ivan and I are very close. There's been times when we picked me up and got hyped for wrestling, and I hope I've done the same for him because he is truly the manager's manager. Sorry, I mean Chuck. I call him Ivan.
Hey, listen, and I'd much rather him call me that because as I found out, knowing guy, I prefer to call the guys that I work with by their ring names. So when I'm out there, Marshall Simmons, one of the first guys that I did, he found himself in a predicament, and I think he landed wrong.
Right.
And at that point, his name was Wayne, and so I'm yelling at him, Wayne, are you okay? Are you okay, Wayne? And that's when JD Drake was like, no, don't do that. Don't call him that. Don't call him that. So from that point on, I've always made it a rule to call guys by their work name. So I'll
tell you what, as a podcaster, I try to do that most of the time, but it's hard. It's hard. When you've got 200 wrestlers that know you, it's hard to remember everybody's real name and their wrestling name.
Right.
I mean, it is just so hard. So I apologize ahead of time if you ever come on the show. Now, like Art, I've always known him as being Father Darkness, so I'll call him Father Darkness instead of Art. There's a bunch of other ones that, I know their real names. Some even put both of them in there. I mean, look what Mark did. Sweet Dreams, right in the middle of his real name. There you go. I mean, I get the best of both worlds, but yeah, it's kind of hard, but I do too. As a matter of fact, there are times when somebody will walk up to me at a show and they'll have a conversation with me and they'll use a wrestler or anybody else at the show's real name like I know it. Oh,
Right.
yeah, so-and-so and so-and-so said this. Who? You don't know who I'm talking about? And then they'll give me the wrestler name, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, now I know exactly who you're talking. You didn't know their real name? Was I supposed to?
Not privy to that. Yeah.
Was I supposed to? But now that you said their wrestling name, yes. Perfect example of that is I've known this one wrestler for a very long time. And he used to frequent the show that I go to, HWA. Everybody knows I'm the HWA fan club president. I go out there. I think I've missed like 3 shows in 4 years or something like that. But I go out there and he wrestled for them, and I never knew his real name. I always knew him by his wrestling name. And one day he sends me a message under his real name, and he goes, hey, Scott, how you doing? I almost blocked him. Because I didn't know who he was till I looked at the picture, and I clicked. Thank God I clicked on the picture, and it came. I was like, oh, that's his real name? Oh, wow. Okay, how you doing? I almost blocked him. I came that close to blocking him. But
Don't send me no fake friend request. I'll block you.
But yeah, I mean, I would rather call the people by their wrestling name anyway, because how would you like to be known, by your wrestling name or by your real name?
For that environment, I'd much prefer people call me Ivan or Mr. Righteous. Some people call me Righteous,
Right.
and it's just easy to distinguish the public persona and keeping the private persona.
Right. Zach asks how y'all been. Now, see, he's adding you to this one now, Chuck. He said,
Now I feel
y'all
included.
been.
Now I feel included. I've been good, Zach. I hope you are.
Zach, I'm looking forward to the 28th, sir. I will be front and center. I will have my T-shirt on. I will be rooting, because I will be one of them with a clear eye view. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, I knew I'd get an O out of you, but you know what? I'm on the bandwagon. I'm on the bandwagon, sir. I'm on the bandwagon.
I love it, man. I love their promos. The dance they do is just signature as all get.
I love
Clear
it.
eye vision. I love it.
I love that. That's pretty cool, man. I have to admit, they got a good gimmick.
Look, I'm not making fun of them. Please, Zach and John, don't think that I'm making fun of y'all. I'm not.
No, it's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
It's a good gimmick. I love it. I love the punchline, the whole 9 yards, man. I walk around the house sometimes here at the house, and my wife will say something to me, and I'm like, oh, you got to see the world with a clear eye view.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
That's what. Hey,
The last thing that I need is Mama Hester getting in touch with me.
look,
because-
Jack Frost. Look, Jack Frost. Don't start on me. Don't start on me,
Jack,
because that was weak. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the last thing that I need is Mama Hester coming up in here, hit me up on my Facebook. Why are you talking junk about my boys? I ain't talking junk about your boys.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I love it. No, I love them all to death, man. I can't, like I said, I can't wait till the 28th when you guys show up. I will definitely be there. Hopefully we'll get an interview that night, guys. I'd really like to do that.
Oh yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good
Oh,
stuff.
look at here. We get the other half, Mr. John
There he
Matthews.
is. He's
Yeah.
not saying hey to you or me.
He said yo to everybody. Yo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He said the 20. Oh, Jason Becker said the 28th. HWA's next show, sir. HWA's next show. They will be there. Perfect Vision. The poster is out. You can see it on my page. Go and check it out.
Indeed.
Bobby Gardner said, "What's up, gentlemen? One of the best."
Look. Hold on a second. Bobby Gardner. I looked at my Facebook today and I saw that you were the birthday boy. I've been like really busy. So publicly, I want to say happy birthday to you. Also, I got to make a public apology to Ryan Riley. I didn't show up to his wedding.
Oh, snap. Happy birthday and congratulations, Ryan. There you go.
Yes. I'll send Ryan a message when we get done, and I'll let him know what's up.
Father Darkness wants me to ask you about your worst match. That's a story. Oh yeah.
Worst match that I ever had was a boxing match that took place at Hardcore Championship Wrestling before it became EWF, before it became Heritage Wrestling Association. And look, promoters,
that's okay. That's okay. Keep going.
promoters, why in the hell would you say, oh, I got this great vision right here. We're going to put two managers in a match and we're going to have them box each other. Why?
Can I answer that?
Sure. Go ahead. You back there. Yes.
Because it's funny.
To which I'm going to say this to you, Scott Larson, to each their own, even if they are ignorant.
Thank you, sir. I resemble that remark. John Matthews says we're going to have fun. We're definitely going to do an interview. Bobby said thank you.
Oh, yes.
And he's laughing. He's having a good time. Thanks for coming, Bobby. We really appreciate it. Everybody that's coming on the show. If you got a question for Mr. Chuck Winchester, do not hesitate. We have got like 10 minutes left in the show. I'm going to open it up to you guys. If you ask him anything, trust me, ask him anything.
Well, look, now here's the way that it went, okay? I knocked Father Darkness out. then when he got up, I got close to him and he sucker punched me. So I went down. And then the next thing I know, I find myself, I think that I got a haircut that day, and I think that I wound up with a pumpkin fixed as a jack-o'-lantern on my head.
He said he's got that boxing match on DVD. Sir, I want that. I'll pay for it. Get me a copy. I'll pay for it, sir. I want to watch that match.
Do not send him that match.
Yes, please. I'll pay for it. Send me your price, bro. Send me your price. Oh, here's a good question for you, Chuck. Mr. Smoke said, what is Smoky Mountain Wrestling?
Smoky Mountain Wrestling is an E-Fed, folks. If you don't know what E-Feds are, let me explain this to you. During Scott Larson's time with the hashtag Truth and Jordan Payne, they did what they called the promo tournaments.
Yes, that was when COVID hit and nobody was supposed to be wrestling.
Right. Well, and it was during that time that I found the world of the E-Feds, and well, I wasn't doing anything at the time, so that's a good place for me to practice and hone my interview skills or my promo skills. So basically, what it is a E-Fed who does a weekly show on Mondays. You can see the results show. If anybody is interested into finding out what is so special about Smoky Mountain Wrestling, hit me up. I will invite you.
Either one of us up and we'll invite you in.
I'll invite you into the group, and you can see there's a lot of talented guys out there as far as doing promos. Right. But the one thing that Smoky Mountain has that no other federation has out there, no other E-Fed has out there, is the results show, and it is spectacular. I mean, it is a very
actually a TV/radio show of actual matches put together for the results. It's not just we chose who had the best. It's not just we chose who did the best promos and they win and that's it. No, they actually go through a match. It's called by a couple of announcers. You'll have to come in to see what all we're talking about, because some of it's funny, some of it's serious, some of it will just bust your gut. You'll laugh so hard. I guarantee you. And if Jack Pasta tells me that was weak again, I'm going to come to your home, Jack. And, well, never mind. Not as weak as Jack Frost. I'm just saying. Not as weak as Jack Frost.
Wow.
When you get beat up by Peter Pan, see, this is the stuff we're talking about. Peter Pan beat up Jack Postel. I mean, you'll find that at Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
Yeah. So look, it's like this. we have talent in front of the cameras. We have talent behind the cameras. We have the best announce team in professional wrestling. Phil McCracken and Craven Moorhead, they are just absolutely a hoot. And I think that we need to come up with a drinking game for.
And don't forget about our two illustrious referees that we have.
Amanda Hug and Kiss and Mike Hunt. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a blast, guys. If you guys want to know what's going on, if you just want to watch and be a fan, that's cool. Let us know. We'll invite you in. Or if you want to participate, if you're a wrestler out there and you want to participate in our EFED, just come on in and start doing promos.
Yeah. Look,
awesome.
I have said many, many times, if you're a wrestler out there and you need to work on your promo skills, then please find you one of those, because it's spontaneous and it will teach you how to construct your promos. I'm not going to call any names. But last week, Oliver Closeoff. Oh, I love that. I love that.
We might have to use him. We might have to hire him next show.
Look, I'm a firm believer in if somebody's going to school and they are learning their trade in pro wrestling.
Yes.
The one thing that should always be done by the teachers and that sort of thing, because a promo is a big part of the business. It is.
I mean, look, WWE, AEW, all of them, when you go in and you want to be a part of their organization, you have to pass their promo people.
Yeah.
You have to get by them. I mean, how many times did Dusty Rhodes look at a wrestler in the WWF days and go, or WCW days and go, you can wrestle, but nobody believes you.
Baby, we got to get you a mouthpiece.
There you go. There you go. Exactly.
And back to the promoters, that's where the manager comes in.
Yeah, there you go. Until they learn. There you go.
Yeah. But look, I saw somebody not long ago. Not gonna name any names or anything, but he was in the middle of training, and when he took a break, I was like, okay, dude, give me a promo. And it was like, oh, dang. You kind of caught me off guard. Because, well, normally I just don't do promos. I have to think about it. Well, if you can do a promo on any given situation at any given time, then you got the promo skills down pat.
Right. You know, the first time that I got into this EFED, I'm going to tell a story that I've never even told. I haven't even told you this story.
Okay.
When I first got into the EFEDs, I went to another company. We all did. And before we started Smoky Mountain, and I was still learning my promo craft. I thought I was good, but when I started watching some of these other guys, it was like, wow, I'm missing a lot of stuff. So what I started doing, and this may sound stupid, it may sound crazy, but some of the guys out there who don't know how to promo, it works. Let me tell you, it works. Turn on your phone or any recording device, your phone, your computer, a tablet, anything. Place it up somewhere where you can record. Grab a Pepsi bottle.
Yeah.
Grab a Pepsi bottle, and you're the manager of Pepsi, and you're going against Coke. And explain to all the people why Pepsi is a better product than Coke. And trust me, the more you do it, the better it'll get. You'll get to where you'll believe Pepsi is better, even if you don't like Pepsi more.
I was talking to, and memory slips me. I remember the subject of the conversation. What's up, Alexander? I remember the conversation, and it was, dude, how often do you practice your promos? And he said, 5 o'clock traffic is when I'm the best. And I said, what do you mean? He said, road rage has inspired me many, many times. And so it's just, oh no, me and Ivan do a full throttle promo. That was good. That was good stuff. So anyway, sir, I found out that the guy, when he was driving and like if a red light was too long, he'd cut a promo on it.
Right.
If somebody cut him off right there in the middle of the highway, he would start just giving them down the road about he would start doing the thing about their nice shiny vehicle and how they have speed on their side, and then he would just turn it to where the guy was a complete and utter asshole. So it was the formula that we all follow.
And how many times do you hear singers say the best time they ever sing is in the shower or in 5 o'clock traffic?
Yes.
They blare up the radio. They let it out, man. They let it out because nobody can hear them, but themselves. So, you know,
I say to a lot of guys, if you are practicing your promo skills, the best thing to practice on is your toothbrush. And the reason I say that is because it's first thing in the morning. Your head is fuzzy from the night before, you know, sleeping and that sort of thing.
Some more than others.
Yeah, some more than others. But catch you at that time when you're vulnerable and you have very little to say. Not everybody hits the ground running like I do when I wake up. Oh,
yeah. Well, we know why you hit the ground running. I mean, you got your 2 drinks and you're gone.
Oh, that's before that. That's before that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Without a doubt. So let's see. Did we miss anything? We talked about your managing. We talked about videography. We talked about ring announcing. What am I missing? Podcasting.
When
did you get into podcasting?
I got into podcasting probably in, let's see. So we've been here 3 years. I would say probably about 8 years ago is when I got into the podcasting deal. We had the show called the Ninja Troll. It started out as a show called the 5 Alarm Show, the 5 Alarm Podcast, and that was because I was doing it with 2 firemen. Those guys, they had their own lives to lead. So me and Laura, we ran with it. We called it the Ninja Troll. And then from there, I went on to do, I produced for the Sons of Steel.
Eugene said, Chick gonna break this. I think he meant Chuck. Chuck's gonna break the screen. There he goes. He changed it. Tim Dixon said, "Woot woot."
There you go. My old
you changed it over to the Ninja Troll.
Changed it over to the Ninja Troll. Then I started doing the CIW. I felt like the work that Tim had done with the CIW, CarolinaIndependentWrestling.com, it would give me a sense of I don't want to say urgency. It just gave me a sense of reliability because, you know, back in the day, everybody would go to Carolina Independent Wrestling to find out where wrestling schools were, refs who were looking for shows or shows that were looking for refs. It was just your one stop for all things pro wrestling. And you could get promos on there. You could get matches on there. I went around and I took pictures. But anyway, I digress. And then I started producing stuff for the Sons of Steel. I was their producer on the show, and it just got to be a full-time job that I wasn't paying anything. So I stepped away. And then this guy from out of nowhere, Scott Larson, I'd never heard of him, comes from a place called Wisconsin. And
I'm not a con. It's Wisconsin, not Wisconsin. It's Wisconsin. I will get you to say that state name right. If it
I said that state name right many, many times. You have applauded me every time I did it, and now you're shunning me because I fell back into my evil ways. Come to the dark side, Scott. Come to the dark side.
Right.
So anyway, it was just. I mean, I remember between the Ninja Troll, the CIW report, and the Sons of Steel podcast, or Sons of Steel saga, excuse me. I work 16 and 17 hours a day.
Right.
And when I realized that, you know what, I'm not going to benefit from this in any way, shape, or form, it just wasn't fun anymore.
Right.
And when somebody gets like that, well, it's time to hang up. And I went because I started working with you.
Tim Dixon had a question. He said, "Why did you call it the Ninja Troll?"
Why did we call it the Ninja Troll? All right, Scott Larson. Now, you know that I'm a role player. I have played Dungeons and Dragons for quite some time. I think that I was in like the 6th grade when I found it. And that's back when it was the red box with the drawing on it there, and Gary Gygax was new. And so anyway, there was a time when I went to Gaston College. Tim Dixon was doing the overnight show. And so we had a party that was we got into something, but one person could project their thoughts.
Right.
And so we were being attacked by something, and this was like Stupid 30. You know what Stupid 30 is, don't you? Stupid 30. Stupid 30 is when somebody will say something like big toe, and everybody in the house just thinks that it's funny as crap, and they are too tired. Okay, so we were at that point, and I think the guy's name was Jeff Warrington. He speaks up and he says, "I am in control." But what Tim Dixon heard was, "I'm a ninja troll." So we had to stop. We had to collect ourselves from that. And it was later on when Laura said, okay, when the fireman left and we need to come up with a name, Laura said, well, why don't we call it Ninja Troll? That story, she loved that story. She's heard that story many, many times. Right. And so we just went with that. So I am a ninja troll.
There you go. Now we were talking about the promos. I have to show this because I came across this today. Chuck taught me how to use my Google Drive today. I did not know how to use my Google Drive. And there was a video that was on this Google Drive from back when I did my show back in the Boom Boom Room, which is me and my wife's bedroom over here. I actually had all my stuff in the closet and it was videotaped. You could see the window behind it, everything. I did one of those promos that we were talking about. Just grabbed something randomly and did a promo. I'm going to show that right here just to show you guys how stupid they can be, but they can really help you. And we had a laugh today about it, so I'm going to show the whole world today. This is what one of those promos look like.
Hello everybody, Scott Larson here, co-host of Thursday Night Slapdown. I want to talk to you wrestlers out there. Are you tired of going to the gym for hours every week? Are you tired of spending hours upon hours in the ring perfecting your craft? And are you tired of spending a ton of money for those snooze fest people who know what they're talking about in wrestling and those wrestling seminars? Well, have I got the answer for you. For just a low price of $69.99, yes, it is Wrestling Elixir. One little swig of this, and you will be doing everything in the ring without training, without seminars, without ever working out in the ring, period. You will know it all. And that's not all. For your low price of $69.99, you not only get the Elixir, but you get the Insta Wrestling Body Spray. Yes, just spray a couple of these. Oh my God. Ooh, that's good stuff right there. And put this on you and you become the wrestler you've always wanted to be. But act now because these things are going fast. $69.99. Call the number below to be the wrestler you've always wanted to be.
Wrestling Elixir.
Look, and I will tell you what that instant wrestling spray is all about. I know the sense that comes in. It either smells like a wintergreen, cinnamon hot, or man pretty. Man pretty.
It's probably man pretty because I think it was one of those. I can't remember what kind it was. I really can't remember what spray can. What it was.
Ask me no questions. I'll tell you. No.
It was probably an Axe. It was probably one of the Axe. Axe cans. I can't remember what one it was, but as you can see, it was still full. I never used it. And when I sprayed it, it was like,
Right. And look, now that we're here and we're talking about the podcast, I want to be serious here for a second and talk to the promoters.
Okay.
Guys, these podcasts that are going on, when they call you or they reach out to you to find out events and they're just wanting to announce your events, please help them out. But also look, you're in the business. And I guarantee you that a lot of these people who are doing these podcasts are not asking you anywhere near the price of what it takes to advertise on television or on radio. But there's people out there. There's people out there who I've taken my video work to and said, hey, I said, I can, I'm willing to bring this to your show. And I was met with, well, that's nice. That's good video right there, but I'm not going to pay for that. Yeah.
wow.
And it is one of those things to where when everybody started doing a mixture of Axe body spray and swamp ass, oh, I love that. But back in the day, I would take promos that were being done. I would do promos, and you had the camera there on your phone. There was no excuse why you shouldn't do it. And I would show wrestlers my promos, and I was met with, well, why you got to treat it like you're in the WWF? Do your promos at the shows, but don't do this. Well, why not? Do you want to be a part of the WWE? Well, yeah, but you got to wait there before you do all that. No, it's up to you. It's up to you. So I mean, look, the old school mentality is great, and I love it. I love the old school mentality. I love going to an old school show where I get stories.
Right.
And in that, I understand that there's going to be some of the flippity floppity twisty turny and all that, and it's like they're on a rating system for whoever does the most flips or whoever leaves you out of breath and moves right into the next move that's going to take your breath away again. I get that. I get that. But for overall, the old school mentality on that is a very good show to get to watch. But with me saying that also, you have to realize that we are in a computer age, and it's all about data. It's all about content. It's all about what you can get out there to be seen. And I guarantee you the stuff that you do for the mom and pop show, that's not being put out there. They don't have anybody taking videos. Wrestlers have gone on to be self-sufficient, where these guys are over here in the ring, and you have mama over here filming while wife from the opposing guy is over there filming on that. And they put it up on YouTube. If your name is not out there, and it is because you're not putting content out there, you're not putting your content, then that's on you. Yep. And that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes about your person and your personality, because, hey, you think that because you go to this show and you have 150 to 200 people watching you, that you have made it to the big time. No, that's so far from the truth.
If you don't give them something to invest in, if you don't give them something to go home, they're going to forget about you 10 minutes later. They're going to leave that show, and 10 minutes later, somebody's going to say, hey, do you remember who? Who was that you're talking about? The guy that did the flippity floppity. Oh, yeah, him. Yeah, I remember him.
Yep. But it is the matches where
social media is your TV. Your phone, when you go to a show, unless they are recording it there and they tell you can't record it because you have to pay for their recording. I understand that. I get it. But if you can go, most shows will let you go and record your match, or let your wife or girlfriend or whoever, your significant other, record your match. Go home. Find somebody. If you can't do it, find somebody that can give it a title. Find somebody that can put your name on it and the date, and put it up on your Facebook account. And by gosh, if you're a wrestler and you don't have a Facebook account as your wrestling name, please Please. This is a hobby. Get out. This is a hobby for you. Get out.
Oh, look, and also, Scott, on that now, you want me to tell you how to make a wrestler mad?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
You want me to tell you how to make a wrestler mad?
I'll find out when the numbers drop. Go ahead.
All right. Well, no. Listen. I have been in the car with a bunch of guys, and going to it, we're all about singing songs on the radio. We're all about the camaraderie of the previous shows, what we did there, and so on and so forth. But then on the way out, for somebody to say, "Hey, man, let me see that camera," and that person say to them, "We ran out of data before we got to your match." Oh, buddy. I have seen many wrestlers in the back jonesing talking about, "Oh, I wish somebody would have taken that match. I wish somebody would have taken that match." It's good. It's good stuff.
Yes, it happens all the time. It does. It happens all the time. And you never know. You got to take that power into your own hands. If you're a person out there and you're going to take wrestling seriously, there shouldn't be a match that you go to that you shouldn't have on tape. Seriously. In the day and age we live in, you can go buy a flip phone that will record a match. And it might not be the best quality video, but at least you'll have the video.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There is no reason. And you can't tell me that somebody in your family isn't going to show up there without a cell phone that records or takes pictures or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I get it. I do get it. I'm not saying that they're wrong by doing this. I'm saying that, "Oh, bro, I always take my matches." Well, that's good. That's very good. And I'm not saying that they are bad for wanting to see that. I get it. They want to make themselves better. They're watching their work. They're watching the reaction time. They're watching for botches. They're watching for all that. And I absolutely get it. And it shows me also that when that person is into that and they have to critique themselves mentally, internally,
Right.
that they are just wanting to make themselves the best that they can be.
Right. And believe me, it's not just wrestling, it's everything. I do it to myself. My wife gets tired of me. I'll go back and I watch a hashtag truth episode 4 or 5 times. If something's out of place in my background, I get upset. If I don't change from commercial over to, I get upset. Just every little thing, it'll get me upset because I want to be the best one out there. I want you, when you come on here, to have a good time. When the internet goes out or somebody doesn't have good internet reception or they don't know how to turn their phone sideways like Chuck has it, it kind of, throws the balance off. But I can handle it. I'm used to it now, but if you really want to make yourself look good, you should know all those things.
Yeah.
You should know all those things ahead of time.
And again, it goes back to what Jake Jacobs said, and it makes sense. It's the knowledge of how to turn your camera, and it's the knowledge of delivery. It's the knowledge of, and I'm talking about on promos.
Ask questions because somebody out there will answer you.
Yes.
Somebody will answer you.
Yes.
There's always the guys out there that are, well, I'm not going to give away all my secrets. There's always those guys.
Right.
But somebody out there will go, "Hey, dude, if you really want your promo to look good on a podcast, turn your phone sideways while you're recording. It fills the screen when they put it up."
Right. Well, the only problem that I have with doing promos, the live, the Facebook Live, if you don't have a computer, shut up, Chuck, I love you, but I have to kill you. No, when you're doing your live promos on Facebook, Facebook requires you to have the phone like this instead of like this. Right. I don't know if you've tried it or not, Scott, but I've tried it many times because it is a rule of thumb with me. And a lot of the guys that are deep in the business, when they do promos and they do them up and down instead of turning the phone sideways, and you get back in touch with them, they treat you like, "Well, you're the idiot because I did the promo." And it's like you say to them it needs to be fixed. Well, no, you're going to have to do it on that end because I gave you what I got. So it's not anybody when they tell you that to film them sideways, turn your phone sideways. It's not anything that they're saying to you that it was bad. It can be the greatest promo in the world, but it's like when you have the black marks on the side and it eats up the entire screen. Well, that could be filled up. Now I'm doing this on the computer, so it's one of those things to where it's always like that. But
Right.
when you're doing your phones, when you're working with your phones, please turn them sideways because you get the wide angle at that point.
Yep. You really do. Man, I'm telling you, we've been here for an hour and 20 minutes, Chuck, and people are still watching. That is awesome. Thank you guys, everybody who showed up to watch. I just wanted to put some things out there that there are people out there, Chuck's one of them, that are multi-talented. I can name a few others. Nadia Hunter's another one. There's other people out there that do all the stuff. I mean, I don't think Nadia is a manager, but I mean, she's a ring announcer. She does posters. She does videography. There's multi-talented people out there.
She wrestles too.
What's that?
She wrestles.
Oh, she wrestles.
Yeah, I've seen her. I've seen her in a match. Yes.
Wow. Okay. That I just learned something new today.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get out there tonight and I used Chuck as an example that there are multi-talented people out there, and you know it doesn't cost that much to make you look good as a wrestler. If you're an independent professional wrestler, especially one of the young ones who are just breaking into the business, we're not talking thousands of dollars. We're not even talking hundreds of dollars. But if you get a hold of somebody, it might cost you $50 to get a good video, but I promise you that $50 will be well spent when you start getting phone calls from promoters saying, hey, I love that promo. I loved what you were doing. I would love you to bring that to my show.
Well, look, I want to say this, guys. You have to look at it as an investment. It is not anything. I mean, it's like okay. Think of it as an office building. An office building has they have these.
We could out-talk a preacher. We probably could.
But like for a office building.
Will you teach me, Sensei?
When you have an office and you have to go and buy paper or you have to go and buy pens, that's an investment. As little as it is, you know for a fact if that's not put in a folder and you type up a memorandum and you still do that. Now, why anybody would do that? We're in the green age now, but there's still offices out there that send out memos. So that memo is going to be looked at and it's going to be thrown in the trash. That costed you ink. That costed you toner. That costed you paper. And it costed you the time to have it printed up. So what I'm saying to you is when you find somebody and you ask them for their price, you have to look at the return or their response to you as what the investment is going to cost you.
Yes. I agree with that 100%.
And me as a videographer, as somebody who edits video and puts them together, it takes time to make you look as good as we do.
Exactly. Christopher Burton, get a hold of me right after the show. Send me a message on my messenger. I saw your message, so thank you very much. And get a hold of me right after the show. Aaron said can't stay too long, but want to say what's up, fellas. Thank you, Aaron, for showing up.
Aaron Jones.
We're already at an hour and 25 minutes, and you guys are still watching. That makes me feel so good.
Look, Aaron Jones, I want to tell you the story about Aaron Jones being at Titan Wrestling, and he wrestled Zane Riley.
Okay.
And, sir, look, somebody had left the championship behind. And so Zane grabs the championship and takes it out. I think it was the Texas championship.
Okay.
And so as far as I know, Mr. Aaron there, he's still Texas champion because he won that belt. He won that belt. Even though the person that was the current Texas champion wasn't there, they fought for it. He won it. And I haven't heard anything. And, I thought that was kind of sad. It was like, hey, man, if you were the original holder of this belt, shouldn't you be getting on this guy and getting your belt back? Oh, but it never happened. Never happened.
He said, I'm still the current Ground Zero Texas heavyweight champion.
Yeah, he is.
That's the way.
Look,
That's the way to get it done.
And he does the Texas two-step better than JBL. I'll just say that.
That's impressive.
Texas two-step, he can do it, sir. I watched him do it. Better than JBL.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I got you. I think we need to take this home, man. I really do think we need to take this home.
Well, now hold on a second. I do got a question to ask you, and I'm putting you right here on the spot.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Go ahead. I'm all ears.
We need to let the hashtag truth audience know. Are we going to see this week's episode of
The Slapdown Digicast? I think we should do that. I think we should do that tomorrow night.
Well, you getting into
or maybe Thursday. Maybe we could do it Thursday. We do a special Thursday night Slapdown like our old school show.
Absolutely. But look, I think if we can plan it out, I saw something on TikTok today. There's a little old gal who normally does church signs, but this time she said the one thing that was funnier than some of these church signs is strip club names. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to find some strip club names.
I'll tell you what, because we got some things going on tomorrow with another show that we are a part of. We'll go ahead and make it for Thursday night. We'll make it Thursday night, 7:00. So if you guys that way, I want to play the old intro. I've just been juicing to play the old intro.
Now you said at what time?
Thursday night, 7:05.
7:05. Okay, I had to make you rethink that. You said 7:00.
Shh.
Listen.
You didn't hear that.
The ghost of Gordon. Look, the ghost of Mr. Soley says we need to start.
Oh, snap. Come on now.
Just saying.
My drink of choice is Diet Pepsi. I'm just saying. I'm a little different from Mr. Soley.
Well, yeah. Okay. All right, sir.
Thursday night. You heard it here first. Thursday night, 7:05. We're going to do a Thursday night slap down. Everybody's invited. Let all your friends know, and we're going to have a good time. We'll get together, and man, I'm telling you, I'm excited now. I'm excited. This is going to be a good week. I've got Father Darkness coming on Friday. Oh yeah, I got Mr. Burns coming on Wednesday. So Mr. Matt Burns coming on Wednesday.
Art Long, I cannot find the promos, and I hope that you can. I hope that you offer up the promo that you did on the book, and that's the only thing that it could be.
I just want the boxing match. Father Darkness, I want the boxing match.
No. Look, you have to see how creative he was and my response to him on that. Sir, he was outside and he had his fireplace going off in the background. And he lives in a very, very nice neighborhood. So he was trying to be quiet. And so all he had was the book, and he filmed that the whole time. So my response to him, I filmed a full throttle can and did my promo like that.
Nice. Very nice. I would love to see a video of his old book when he used to open it up and the light used to come out of it. I would love to see a video of that. He came on hashtag and he told me about the book and everything, and I would love to see a video of that. He said it broke and he hasn't gotten it fixed. He still has the book, but it doesn't work like it used to. I wish it did, because I would have really loved to see that. I would love for him one time before he, hangs the boots up as Father Darkness, walk out with Father Darkness book, open it up and watch the glow. I would just love to see that one time.
Now, hold on a second. Look, we can't end it right here because we still got I don't know where the 29-25 mark. So we're gonna hang right here. We're gonna do something else. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We're out of here. So yes. Oh, look, I do have a question for Mr. Darkness.
Okay.
I want to know what it's like to be the dancing machine.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. He gave me that promo to put on #truth. I remember that promo.
Oh, it's good stuff. All right,
Oh,
Scott, we're about
my
3
God.
seconds away from ending it. So
Yes,
with
we
that,
are.
thank you for having me on the show.
Without a doubt. All right, Chuck Winchester, jack of all trades. You saw him here for an hour and 30 minutes. Thank you guys very much. If you want a video done, if you want a great manager, or if you want a great ring announcer, get a hold of Chuck Winchester. And that is the #truth. We'll see you guys Wednesday.